next speaker is always in a rush.
Every time when I ask him what makes you feel alive, he says, rushing, I'm barely alive, but I still feel alive when I rush through the Bangalore traffic to reach my workplace 13 minutes early.
He sacrificed a lot of parties just to be here at the Bangalore Toastmasters Club.
To speak here today, his speech is titled, Rush Against All Your Reasons, even if the seasons are against you. Please welcome on the stage the scamper, Vijay Kalkundri.
Anything is possible until you stop believing it's impossible. Life does not give you warranties and guarantees. It only provides you with opportunities and possibilities for people who dare to dream against the challenges. Read my WhatsApp message. So this was the source of motivation. All of us have goals and objectives in our lives. But it is for us to try them, cling on to them, pursue them, and follow them to their conclusion. Only then we make them really happen. Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and my dear guests, good evening.
Good evening.
In the March 2015, it was the same sultry afternoon. It was extremely hot outside. The roads were boiling like a pan of tar. We colleagues decided not to venture out and tan our skins. So we all decided to have a cup of cold coffee in our pantry. As we were sipping through the cold coffee, the topic turned towards fitness. As we were discussing the fitness, one of my colleagues, Vinod, made the mention of world famous Bengaluru 10K TCS challenge. Okay, we all thought running was so boring and exhausting. So that's when we thought it's not our cup of tea. But then he made a point. I challenge you, if any of you are going to take up this challenge in the next 7 weeks and complete it, I am going to treat you. I thought for a while and then I thought there is no harm in taking up the challenge, and I took the challenge. But then it was time for some action. That's when I thought my preparation for this run should be very methodical and very structured and meticulous, so that I do not injure myself. I quickly went through the internet and found out Reebok running squad with met at Lal Bagh. I quickly called the coach and asked the coach, Coach, can I join your club? When can I come? Coach from the other end replied, come at 5:30 a.m. on a Saturday morning. I said, okay. And I come the phone. A chill ran down my spine. Because I don't remember in ages when I had woken up at 5 a.m. on a Saturday morning to be at some place for 5:30 a.m. I was really shivering. But then I remembered my commitment to my colleague that I am going to do this. As the alarm struck 4:50 a.m. on a Saturday morning, I sprang out of my bed, got myself ready and rushed toward the empty lanes of Baswangudi. As I was rushing, the cold air was hitting my face and my jersey. And as I landed in Lal Bagh, I felt like a 3-year-old kid who is assured that he will be taken to the nearby park on a weekend. I was so much joyful because there were hardly any people there. As I reached the assembly point, I saw the coach instructing people. There were hundreds of people. He asked me, go do a 2-kilometer loop against the lake, surveying the lake. I did my 2 kilometers and I was very much thrilled because for the entire 2 kilometers, I neither stopped nor took a sip of water. I myself felt very energetic, ecstatic and emphatic about this. And I thought I have that courage. I had got the required motivation to do the 10K challenge. After meeting the coach and after a few more stretches, he gave us a detailed plan for 7 weeks. You have to follow this meticulously so that you can do it. After this day, every day was practice towards the D-Day. After this, all our pantry and the lunch discussions, which usually revolved around the road conditions, the pollution, the political instability, all the other things in the country, now revolved around the speed, the sprint, the tempo, the elevation, and all the aspects of running. There was a running overdose which was taking over us. So then, on 13th May 2016, after completing our Toastmaster meeting, I was heading back home. I was again cruising through the empty Richmond Road. As I was cruising through, I took a small turn in one of the by-lane. There is a big car which was blocking the entire road. I was standing behind the car for it to move on and looking at my left. The small gap between the car and the pavement was enough for a two-wheeler to rush through. And within a fraction of a second, a two-wheeler rushed through it and hit me at the right side of my leg. And I fell down. As I woke up, I quickly parked my two-wheeler to the side of the pavement and sat on a chair which belonged to a pawn shop. And my mind shut for a few seconds. There was a pin drop silence. I could not imagine anything. Just then, a gamut of things were going through my mind. Whether I will be able to run, whether I will be just a spectator, I not wanted that to happen. I opened my mind, I brushed aside all of these thoughts, tied a kerchief, went back home. Next day I spoke to my coach and explained him the situation. My coach saw the wound and told him, brushed aside, oh, this is a simple injury, you need not worry about it. You can do it. So again motivated me. I took this as a motivation. After this, I hydrated myself and took the complete rest. Next day morning, at sharp 4 a.m., I got up, and at 4:30 a.m. on 16th May, I was at the Kalkundri Stadium. As Helen Keller has rightly said, alone I can do so little, and together we can do so much more. There, at 4:30 a.m., I saw 25,000 people waiting at Kalkundri Stadium to run their race of the day. You believe it or not, it was a very energetic movement. And at the one end of the stadium, I could see Michael Powell, the world famous athlete from USA, waiting to flag off. After the flag was off, we ran through the lush green Cubbon Park. We ran through the Cubbon Park and then crossed the very scenic Vidhan Soda. As I was approaching the finish line, I saw the digital clock which read 01, 02 and 03, and a small layer of tear came on my mind that I had completed the challenge what I had finally taken. So sports is one such activity where the passion trumps the logic. What sports teaches us in life is honor your commitment, follow your practices and cherish your results. So my dear friends and Toastmasters, we all have our objectives and dreams in our life, but we have to follow it to its conclusion and never give up. So I urge you, run in all seasons against all the reason. Back to the Toastmaster.